Circulatory system. Every organism must exchange materials with its environment. This exchange ultimately occurs at the cellular level. Small, simple animals exchange materials directly with the environment via diffusion. For large, more complex animals, diffusion is not a sufficient method of exchange. These animals have a circulatory system. These flatworms exchange materials via diffusion. Their bodies are so thin, every part of their body has close access to a respiratory surface area. Circulatory system. There are two types of circulatory systems, open or closed. Both open and closed circulatory systems have three components. 1. Circulatory fluid, blood or hemolymph. 2. Tubes, blood vessels. And 3. A muscular pump, or a heart. In some simple animals, these hearts are actually just thick blood vessels that act like a heart. They contract like a heart. Blood components. Blood consists of several kinds of cells and cell products suspended in a liquid matrix called plasma. Erythrocytes, or red blood cells, transport oxygen. Leukocytes, or white blood cells, are for defense and immunity. Platelets are involved in blood clotting. Open circulatory system. This system is called open because blood is pumped through open-ended vessels and flows out among cells. There is no distinction between blood and interstitial fluid, and this general body fluid is more correctly called hemolymph. Closed circulatory system. In a closed circulatory system, blood is confined to vessels and is distinct from interstitial fluid. Closed systems are more efficient at transporting circulatory fluids to tissues and cells. As a result, this type of system is more commonly referred to in vertebrates as the cardiovascular system, cardio referring to heart, vascular referring to the transport vessels. Blood vessels. There are three types of blood vessels in a closed circulatory system. Arteries carry blood away from the heart and toward the body, or toward organs, and veins return blood towards the heart and away from the body, or away from the organs. Capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that carry blood between arteries and veins. Note: arteries and veins are distinguished by the direction in which they carry the blood. Red blood cells pass single file through a capillary. Capillaries are that thin. They're no thicker than or not too much thicker than a red blood cell. This ensures that each red blood cell comes in close contact with surrounding tissue to maximize exchange of materials. Circulatory system. In addition to transporting O2 and nutrients, the circulatory system conveys metabolic waste products to the appropriate organs for disposal. CO2 is taken to the lungs and is expelled when you exhale. Nitrogenous waste products are taken to the kidneys where they are expelled in the urine. The circulatory system also functions in immunity via the leukocytes. Chambered hearts. Vertebrate cardiovascular systems range from 2 to 4 chambers. In fish, there are two main chambers, one ventricle and one atrium, so the oxygenated blood mixes with the non-oxygenated blood. Amphibians have a 3-chambered heart, 2 atria, and 1 ventricle, so again, there is mixing of blood here, between oxygenated blood and non-oxygenated. In turtles, snakes, and lizards, there is a 3-chambered heart in which the ventricle is partially divided, so there's less mixing of blood, but there's still some. In mammals, birds, and crocodilians, they have a 4-chambered heart, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The left side of the heart pumps and receives only oxygen-rich blood, while the right side receives and pumps only oxygen-poor blood, so there is no mixing of blood. Evolution of the heart. In what animal does mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood occur? Or where does it partially happen to?